We are in Milan at the International Tourism Fair with David Crognaletti, the Commercial Director of the Aeroporto Cagliari. Hello, David.
Good morning to you.
The BIT is a fair that has a national and international impact. Talking about this, what are the goals that the Aeroporto Cagliari has for 2020?
So being here at the BIT fair in Milan is very important for us. Usually, of course, we attend to different fairs around Europe and the world. Our important strategic thing is to be here also to discuss with all the principal stakeholders that we have in Italy, but also across Europe. What we want to do in this moment, being an airport, is to try to increase as much as possible the presence in terms of network, but also to try to send a different message in comparison to the past regarding the product that Sardinia could offer, which is not exactly only the typical sun, sand and beach product for the leisure community, but also having a complementary product. We have a beautiful landscape, a beautiful environment in Sardinia, which can be complementary to the typical product that people tend to know, which is the sand and the beach and the sun, can be integrated with hiking, biking, trekking, a beautiful nature, and of course what I always say is the dimension of Sardinia and the density of population that we have. So if you like really a beautiful landscape in the heart of the Mediterranean, Sardinia can offer a lot of things to do also out of the peak summer.
The Aeroporto Cagliari has recently published the IATA Summer Season 2020. Can you tell us something more about this?
Yes, we just presented 2 weeks ago to all the stakeholders the planning for the next summer season in terms of connectivity. We have some interesting news. We closed 2019 with about 4.7 million passengers, which means that we are in this moment in Sardinia the main airport with more than 52% of the total traffic, which is around 9 million passengers. And what's really important for us is to increase the international network. This summer we will have 10 new connections. 8 will be international. In particular, we will have Athens, Bilbao, Alicante, Girona will be back again, Vienna, which is very important, Hanover, Deauville, and 2 domestic destinations, which will be Trieste and Bolzano. In total, we will have about 80 destinations, of which 60 will be international. So very good connectivity, in particular also thanks to the new flights that we will have linking the main hubs in Europe. Like Amsterdam or Paris, London, Madrid, with the main legacy carriers, which will give us the possibility also to link all the intercontinental passengers that could arrive in Sardinia with just one single stop in Europe. So very important for us to extend our network also outside Europe.
Sounds very interesting. One of the main goals of the BIT this year is to show how many activities people can do also in the winter season, and this is also what our videos would want to show at the BIT this year. So how is the airport trying to get more tourists to Sardinia also during the winter?
So we developed recently a very strong cooperation together with Regione Sardinia, Sardinia region, and also with the municipality of Cagliari. Cagliari is becoming every year more a typical destination, what we consider the urban tourism, and it's growing very fast. We are very happy about that, and we are working especially together with Sardinia region in order to do a simple things, which is planning. So we need to plan in advance, we need to study the other markets, how they move, how they react, and of course we need to plan especially in the medium and long term, which means from 3 to 5 years, in order to understand how to consolidate the markets in which we are market leader in the Mediterranean, but also to study new possibilities to link with just one single flight, for instance, Middle East, Northern Europe, Russia. So all the possibilities that the new type of aircraft like the A320neo or the new Boeing B737 MAX will give us to connect destinations in 6 to 7 years of flight time.
And talking about all of these strategies, what do you think the results will be in 5 years?
So our goal in this moment, of course, is to try to develop the new flights in order to allow all the 3 airports of Sardinia to overpass the 10 million passengers in 1 year. We closed in 2019 at 9 million, more or less. So our goal is to, in 5 years, is to reach between 13 and 14 million, which means that in terms of presences in Sardinia, which we had in 2019 around 15 millions, to bypass the number of 20 millions. The important that we always say is not to have a strong increase in total traffic and presences, but to grow in a sense that we want to grow, which is the sustainable tourism. So we don't want to destroy the landscape, the environment, but to try to grow constantly with a very strong respect of the nature that we have in Sardinia, which is a very good added value.
Is there any cooperation with the other airports in Sardinia?
Yes, as you know, in Sardinia we have 3 airports, 2 in the north of the Adrian and 1 in the south. Of course, every one of us has its own, let's say, shareholder approach, but there's a common system on which we are working, which is the concept of one single approach with the tourists and with our clients and customers. So the idea is to work together in order not to overlap in terms of network, but also in terms of customer approach, to give one single idea of hospitality and also how to welcome our passengers in Sardinia. So we are working together with the other 2 airports and with the Sardinia region in order to have this sort of one single approach to this approach with the customers.